tell, you can wait and see. But I ain't waiting around, I'ma do me. We gon' rebuild a city, make history. I got a plan and the new year's with me. You get a little money, watch the haters come with it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is Home Court Advantage, man, and this is your boy Jesse Appleseed.
And it's your boy Dallas Copperfield, man. And we here with a
Very, very special guest, man. Who we got with us
legend.
today? A legend.
yeah.
J Braye.
Look, he gonna be humble and modest. We're gonna have to talk for him. We're gonna have to talk for him, Dallas. He's gonna be
Grammy nominated.
Yeah, man.
Man.
All right, so where do I even begin? But all right, so most recently, a song that I produced back in 08 or so, 07 really, because when I made it, it got sampled and now it's trending, hitting all the charts on my mama.
On my mama. On my
Victoria Monet.
come on now. Let me do the interview.
On my mama.
Hold on, let me do the interview. Cause you know I was in the studio when you made the joint.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where you? I don't remember
Ready
that.
already.
Maybe you got one of the beat CDs.
No, I'm saying when you made the challenge.
Oh, the actual challenge. Which
Yeah.
challenge?
The challenge when it was an open verse challenge where you kind of let everybody put their verse on the joint.
On which song?
On my mama.
I didn't do that.
You did?
Not yet. That's a good idea, though.
You know what I mean? Cut my man in. That's all I'm saying. Cut my man in. Cut my man in.
That's a good idea. I mean, I did hear this kid that he played the saxophone on it. It was pretty dope. It was pretty fire, actually.
Damn, well, I'm tripping. I really thought,
Electric
man, you know
sax at that.
what? Electric
I
sax?
always love to hear instrumental, musician snap on a
Yeah. So I can play the air trumpet. Y'all know what it is?
air trumpet. Nah, I'm not familiar.
Oh, that joint.
And it sounds like a legit
Yeah, I
trumpet.
would be rocking it, but my mouth dry.
So look, let me ask you this now that you got a super hit, a mega hit, right? Because what's the girl's name that sampled it?
You don't know?
Nah, I was listening to it
Dang, you don't
today.
listen to R&B music?
I do.
It's Victoria Monet.
So, all right, so listen. Now that she sampled it, I was listening to her version, I was listening to Charlie Boy. Which one do you like better?
Honestly, I love remixes in general.
Okay.
Yeah. But to me, R&B has always been my favorite genre. Yeah. So
tell.
when that happened, I was very happy.
Because she
I was
sauced
like,
it up.
wow, yeah, that was dope.
So did you get a phone call before it dropped? How did that work out?
So maybe damn near like a year before it came out, I got an email from Sony and it was like, hey, somebody trying to clear the sample. And I'm cool. That was all I heard. After that, I just started getting added and mentioned on social media, like, yo, you heard this? And I was like, wow, that's dope,
And so you say you played the air trumpet. Did you love? So I know you love the horns that came in on that joint. They're just
Most definitely.
real majestic.
Yeah. I love the horns. The horn section was amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to those producers that put that together. I didn't necessarily want to reach out to their team right now because I feel like they were in the height of their action. I figure like once it slows down and they get back to creativity time, then that'll be a good time for me to reach out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. So it was one thing I was thinking about. You're an artist, magician. No, I'm giving you these are labels. I'm giving you songwriter, producer, executive producer.
I'm a polymath.
Expound on that.
So a polymath can do multiple things. So it's hard for me to have a title when I can work in different departments.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of got a cheat code. I'll say that because I've been watching you engineer since I was a teenager. You gotta, because you the first to touch your stuff. You can mix and master it yourself. Can you speak on the advantages of that, or the advantages or disadvantages of being able to touch your stuff first, as far as an engineer?
That's interesting. The advantages and disadvantages. So obviously, the advantage of being able to do my own music is I can articulate the idea. When I first started engineering, I would have the idea, but I didn't know the tools and how to use the tools to articulate that idea. And so over time, I just got better, you know, and I put a lot of hours into what I did. And so so that's the benefit of it. I don't really see no downside in it. I mean, the downside would be like when people discover that you can elevate their sound, then it becomes like, I mean, you know, that's why I don't be around like that.
Right, right.
You know, and I would book my sessions. People would have to go through loops to get to me.
Yes, sir. Always.
Yeah, and
always.
once it's a lock, we a lock.
We a
you know,
lock.
but then other than that, I'm just out the way. You know, I'm working, then going home to my family.
Right. That's most important.
Yeah.
Right there, because that's who you're doing it for. You know, I've been to the studio on numerous occasions. I always wanted to ask you this when it first came out. Where were you at mentally when you came up with the idea of Radio Ready? Two-part question. Where were you mentally? And then number two, did you know what you did for the city with that studio?
Yeah, I mean, I really always felt like I've been a servant to the vision that when me and my cousin Abadayu, which is doing some amazing design work right now for the brand, we talk about it's not my vision, it's not his vision, it's not his idea, her idea. It's the vision that makes sense for the community, you know? And yeah, like, so I do know, I like, it took me some time to really grasp what took place.
Right.
Because I did take a sabbatical to define my strengths, my weaknesses, every department in my business, figured out, okay, well, what was working here, what didn't work, blueprints, things like that. I really just took a deep dive. And once I figured out I had it figured out, then I came back around, you know, and here I am.
But that's something I heard a lot about. I mean, because I heard about you prior to meeting you through artists that I know in the city. And a big thing, a lot of people was like, J Braye, I can't get in touch with J Braye. J Braye just went missing on me. A lot of people was upset about that. And now hearing you say that, it makes sense because sometimes you got to back away. And like you said, do what's best for your family. So I want to ask you this. You say your family. I know I've been listening to your music. And it's a lot of R&B, a lot of love, a lot of positivity, a lot of unity. Is there a muse there behind all of the...
Yeah, of course. And it's, I'm going to try to articulate how to say it. Now, I did go through some personal things, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not with my kid's mother. I'm a non-custodial father, you know, so that's something that's near and dear to me because I value being a parent. And so us not working was painful, and I articulated that pain through my music.
Okay.
That was my therapy for it. And I haven't shared it yet, but I want to though. Even though I'm not in that space that I was, and I learned from that space. But I still feel like it's beautiful art though.
The most beautiful is art. I'm an empath, so when you walked in and I was mentioning the songs that I was listening to, this just me, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But when I mentioned the songs I was listening to and I named my favorite songs, I felt what you just said. I literally felt it. I felt it came from a personal place. It was personally driven, and it was just, you just articulated it in a music form. So now to get in one of my favorite records, which is Grounded. Man.
That second, when them octaves change and
Listen,
that second voice come in.
Come on, man. That bridge on there.
Yeah. That was one of the ones that,
Like, it touched my soul. And listening to that record that's why I say before the show, don't nobody know J Braye the reason why I started singing. Where I had got the confidence to hold a melody. I'm not going to say I can sing, but I can hold a baritone.
Yeah, because I mean, here's the thing. In my 15 years of working with artists, I've met a handful of people that I would consider are God-given gift singers. Like this person, when they open their mouth, I feel a certain energy inside of me that says, oh, that, all right.
And that's how you know somebody can sing.
Exactly.
You know when they say, oh, she can sing. you know, versus somebody that
Yeah.
can sing. You know, it's a difference.
It
Sang
is.
versus sing,
Yeah.
it's a total difference.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And I'm fighting to get there because, like I said, man, my inspiration's always been the people that's been around me. You didn't know this, but I used to always pick your brain in the sessions, and you never were lack of information. You will always let me know what I asked you.
That's not even all the way true. What I realized,
Hold on, you faked me out?
yeah, I faked a lot of people out. When I realized that people were brain picking, I started marketing and promoting and becoming loud about my ideas and concepts. And so I built things with that because I motivated people to do what they needed to do the whole time. You know, that should have been there. You know?
Damn. So you
I mean, check out the hashtag New VA. Look what happened with Live in the Garden. A lot of people don't know what happened to that.
So that was my next
of
question. That was my next question to lead in about Live in the Garden and the creativity behind it.
So the ball was bouncing. You saw it was dropping,
Yeah,
right? And here's what
yeah.
I did. Pass the rock. Chris Archer, he edited the last few videos, gave him the camera, run with it. You know, and we were supposed to do it together, but I wasn't finished with my plan. So I wasn't ready to get started. But everybody was eager to keep it going. So I went around and I talked to the different videographers in the city. Me and DeAndre talked at length about the project. I want to say after our conversation, what we solidify from that. What else do we have in this? It's so many things. And I feel like that's why I say I love remixes, because you take a good concept and you remix it.
Right,
And now, yeah, so everybody mad at me because they think I went ghost, but the whole time I was there, you know? I ain't go nowhere.
and your element. And that's, you know, that's one thing that I speak on, bro. Like, when it's time for you to lock in, it's like what I'm doing right now, and I have a lot of people confused at it, but it's time for me to focus on me and my plan and the people around me that's focused on that plan. And some people that's not in that same frequency or in that same energy, they'll look at you as trying to be funny, or you ghost me, or you did this, that, and the third. But the whole time you just honing in and doing your shadow work. You're doing your self-inventory.
Yep. We can speak about shadow work for sure. I went through some dark periods being separated from my kids. I used to get up and get my daughter ready for school every single day. I get her off the bus every single day. Akon came to my studio. Guess where I was at?
With the kids.
Getting my daughter off the bus. So I didn't see Akon, but I got my daughter off the bus. And so when my daughter got taken away from me, you know, for months, I felt the sadness and depression and pain that I never touched. I knew what suicidal felt like. But let me say this. I thought about this and I said, what would be the story that my kids would leave? You know, what would they say if I did that? So that became my strength. So I would never do that. But I really have a newfound respect for mental health awareness, because I've had friends lose their life over emotional pain. It hurts so bad. How I feel hurts me so bad that I want to take the pain away. And if my friends knew that there was things like meditation, yoga, proper diet, medicine, self-love, self-care routine, they would have just been hanging out with me doing all this cool stuff I do. You know what I'm saying? And so I went through that, and a lot of people didn't know I went through that.
That's harsh.
And I'm glad that I did, though.
That's hard, because I was going past, you know, the universal God put things past my timeline that I asked him for. So I don't see all the ratchet stuff, I don't see that stuff. So when I'm going past and I see you in the car talking about mental health, and when I looked at it, I'm like, man, what he just said was deep. More people need to hear this. So what I'm about to ask you is, how do you implement what you went through and the mental health things that you mentioned on your Instagram posts in your music via your everyday life? Because music is life.
Yeah, how do I integrate this story, right?
Yes, sir.
Of course, I've thought about that. I mean, I have notes on it. It's all email structured out. And it's just, I'm not, like I said, I'm not ready for it. It's just I'm in legal right now. I'm doing a lot of things on the legal end, and so once that's squared away, then the content, the merchandise, the blueprints, plural. You know what I mean? The licensings. You know, all of that stuff will be happening.
Because all of that is
Pop it.
I'm in the process of reading this book.
Shout out to Fortnite. Y'all be patient because we're gonna get it figured out.
So something that I'm reading right now is all about the music business, right? And it's talking about that licensing. There's a lot of business that goes into the music business, and so I saw that you got something coming out. It's like a hustler's calendar, right?
Yep.
So it's just like seeing that and seeing that you're saying, hey, I'm working on something. I'll take y'all along for the ride, but it's gonna take time for it to be quality. But I will bring y'all along on the ride. So that was dope to me to see, because you don't see a lot of people say that. People try to act like they got it figured all out. I got it all together, or they might drop prematurely, right? You giving like, hey, hold on for a second. I got something, but I need y'all to bear with me. I need y'all to be with me while I'm on this journey. And I'll keep y'all updated on what's going on.
Well, I mean, to speak for myself, I would say what's really happening is I'm doing case studies, working with independent artists. And every time that I do a project, it's the same exact thing, even though it might be titled something different. And I'm just testing a new feature, you know?
Okay.
So here's an opportunity for me to develop the backside of my calendar and actually help people at the same time. So I'm gonna help myself by perfecting my product, and then I'm gonna help my community because I want to.
Lifting as you climb. I like that.
I like that too,
Man.
and letting them grow with you in the process, whether they want to or not. Because right now, J Braye, you're needed. Your energy is needed. Your time, your sweat equity is needed.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate you for, being patient with yourself, man, to give this product that you're about to give to us, because I know it's you've been in the lab, man, like a scientist.
I have. I don't know if you all got a chance to check out the Glow in the Dark concert that I did.
Yeah, when you was overseas?
Well, no, that was just a trip I took, but I did a concert where it was like Marv P. It's on iTunes and things like that, and I got pictures on my Instagram. And so I brought a bunch of artists together. They all made music. I produced the whole thing, and then we did a concert. And at that concert, we had merchandise, we had photographer, everything. You'll see it on Instagram. So what that was essentially was the blueprint that I'm offering in the Hustler's calendar, because what I realized is that independent artists, they need the marketing agency and things of that nature, but they can't afford it. Right. So the airplane looks nice, but it needs gas to fly. So you have to get the gas.
Okay, so as far as getting the gas, and you're very, smart when it comes to the music business. I wish people knew that it was the music business. We were talking about independent artists, but, just for the question that I wanted to ask, it was, a 360 deal, then it's independent, and then it's a distribution deal. Which one would you prefer for an independent artist?
Every situation is different. I think my lawyer would say that that's a good answer. Because every situation, here's the thing. We're going through like 4 different license agreements right now. Everyone looks totally different. The amounts they're offering are from extremely high to extremely low, but they're just different scenarios. And so we have to approach them differently.
So it may be a scenario where 360 may be.
I mean, I think that 360 should be, because think about it. If you promote somebody in one sector, right? But that sector parallels with another sector, and then they get rich over in that sector, if you help them get here, right, and then they go there with the same, you should be compensated with that.
Yeah, I get you.
It would only make sense. And then the person is receiving their percentage is actually working for the other person. And so with that being said, hopefully the working relationship is so good that it just continues over time.
So your relationship with the artists, you say you got all the independent artists together, and You know, people, oh, Jay went ghost, man. I can't get in touch with Jay. So for people to hear you say that you got the artists together, it's kind of like the doctor.
I never said I got the artists together. Cause like that doesn't even work. It's like sports. NBA has multiple teams. We can root multiple teams on though. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I'm not saying that I'm getting the artists together like that. Like I'm like that doesn't even, to me, that doesn't really represent what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's different than that.
So what would be the relationship with the independent artists? And like far as you say you did the project, what was like the process if you didn't get them together?
Oh, so yeah, getting all the artists, no, I got to select few. Yeah, because you can't work with everybody. You can't work. It's impossible. Because if you're scheduling something on a real calendar, it has to roll out in a certain way, you know, and the math has to be done on that. And I got a pretty solid system in my blueprint that I developed after the garden.
Okay. Okay.
So you talked about artists like Marv P, and I kind of wanted to go back to the process of making music and your approach. So like as we said, you got a hit out right now that you help produce or write, right? How was that process?
I mean, it's cool to be sampled, you know. It's like the song.
But the song was a hit initially.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And just to go through the cycle again is cool. Like I actually went to Howard University and I saw her perform. And I was in the crowd experiencing it. And I thought that was fun. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. Yeah, so it's been cool. And I mean, it's just, it's energizing to me as well too, though. It's just, cause I mean, like I said, I went on my sabbatical. At one point I thought I was done. You know, I was so frustrated with everybody because everybody would, as you say, come and pick my brain, but they wouldn't necessarily do what they needed to do. So I realized what was happening.
So for far as you being the chosen one, because I had to realize this too, because I had to go through that same thing. How much do you realize that some people just don't know, and maybe that you were supposed to be the one to?
Right. Yeah, and I did have to learn the difference. Everybody, they don't think the same. You know, some people don't imagine like I imagine, you know, and so, yeah, I get
respectfully, I know you believe in energies and frequencies and vibrations. It's no coincidence that I have not seen you, and I can't even name the years, and we're doing an interview. And it's because to go back, because your past, present, and future is happening right now as we speak. So to think about when I was like picking your brain, like I really was trying. I wasn't like one of those ones that was like just trying to make conversation. I really wanted to know, and the universe showed that with, you know, the work I've been putting in and how we right here right now. Because if I wasn't on the same like frequency as you or vibration, the universe wouldn't have us in the same room.
I mean, I think what's understood doesn't have to be said. And I'm an empath as well.
Hold on. Wait. Now, but you said you got frustrated. Now, I get what you're saying, but then there's artists that just, they want to get there. So you basically saying they're going to have to take the long route or whatever basically route that they must take. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think that they just need to come and ask for guidance. A lot of people would just pick my brain and run off thinking that they got the whole idea. They only had one part. And it's just like you kind of gotta throw them punches and combos.
But do you understand who you are though? Like how people look at you. Like, so you may look at yourself as J Braye, but other artists look at you like Dr. Dre.
All right, so here's the thing.
So
right?
some may be nervous to approach you about guidance.
I used to throw these mixers at the studio, right? Like this was after I looked good. You know, I invested in the studio, and at the time, Keno he had it on tilt. So we would have all the influencers and things like that come to the studio. And I was just sitting there in the corner, and they have like probably 80% wouldn't even know who I was, right? And for me, that was cool because I was working, you know what I mean? But now that I'm not in that space, I think it's okay to be loud about who I am. Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm in the city of Norfolk. Like, Like, why would I want to walk around looking like a lick?
Right. Right.
It's treacherous. It's treacherous.
Yeah,
I understand
you're right.
that.
You're right.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
But the ones that had common sense would put it together and be like, oh,
Okay.
yeah, duh. He's smart, you know? So
I wouldn't say borderline, but genius. You know how I would look at it, bro. Because anybody that can, you know, play with those frequencies like that and listen to a voice, and you know, I know the science behind everything. So when I see it, I know who the chosen ones was. You can play an air trumpet, like, come on, bro, you're a chosen one, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it's just showing up and doing the work. Cause here we're all Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're at that level that you have that creative spark, then it's just about how you apply it. You know, it's like I think about it like if your body is the temple, right? You got this church. The light shines in there. When it hits the different glass, that's us. We're different shades of glass, but it's the same thing that's going through it. So it's just we're gonna remix it the way we remix it.
so you was mentioning meditation and, you know, a few things through yoga, through your, so like that, because I was specifically gonna ask you, what are some pointers or what are some things that you can say that got you through that time that brought you back to the music, to get through that dark time that you went through?
My antidepressant pill. Because one book that I read did it for me. The book was stating that if something could have happened in utero when you're in the stomach, right, it could have been shocking the way you would produce less chemicals of, I think it's cortisol or something in the brain. So naturally, you're just going to produce and be functioning at a lower level of happiness. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm diagnosed chronic depressed. Like, this is for real, you know? And so this is like one of my things that I have to carry along with me, you know? And so, yeah, I'm going to take my medicine because I tried the organic way for sure. I researched for years. I meditated, prayed, everything, you know? And so, I just take my meds.
Okay. Yeah, that was real cut and dry. But,
I can't even,
and the truth.
front.
And I appreciate that.
And I'm
And I
going to
really
stand
love
on
that.
it because my dogs are gone. You know what I'm saying? And if I would have snuck it in their mouth every day.
Boop, right in the
you know what I'm saying?
drink.
For 2 weeks. And then they would have been like, Jay, I walked outside and the sun was shining. Wow, what's today? Yeah, bro. So let me tell you about this. Yeah, so for the last 2 weeks, them pancakes I've been making you, did you love? I put the antidepressants in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of that, you talked about, back to the Hustler's Calendar, you talked about PTSD, and I really was sitting there all reading it because what you're saying is basically something that I feel like I went through. It's like I know in the back of my mind, I haven't been diagnosed with it, but I know that I suffer from PTSD. Right. And so hearing somebody else, a brother, somebody that's respectable, say, man, yeah, I take my medication to balance myself out, it's very inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, it's not something that we cringe at anymore as a community. It's like something that we beginning to get comfortable talking about. So I just want to thank you. Cheers to you one time for that.
Yeah, cheers to you one time for that.
I think, and a lot of people don't understand. How tall are you, J Braye?
Like 6'5", 6'6".
6'5", 6'6". You out there with the Giants. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of, like, the Giants got to come out and talk because we go through a lot just being tall people, bigger people than normal, right? It's real. And when you come out and say something like that, it holds a lot more weight than it would. Not necessarily. Some other people count too. I'm not counting them out or discounting them. I'm just saying it holds weight, a different type of weight.
And the reason why I can stand on it is because it's scientific fact that you can't argue. It's a chemical. It ain't about how I feel. Oh, bro, just tighten up, man up, bro. Like, man up with these chemicals.
Yeah, speak on that, because we can't do nothing. And, we got to just move on. We got to just move on. We go through something, you got to just move on. Look, what you say? You a man up.
Yeah, it's like, nah. It's like, yo, there's a whole thing called emotional intelligence.
Right.
You know, and our body is our first signal and response, and through our emotions. Is it safe? Is it unsafe? You know what I mean? Like, all of that stuff. Like, to be tuned in, to be grounded in your body. And a lot of times I'm not, because you know, my focus, because I am a creative, if a good idea happens, it's like we could be having a conversation, but then the good idea happens, it's like a butterfly just flew by. Now I'm just looking at the great idea, but you still talking to me, right? But I'm looking at the butterfly right now. That's what I deal with. And my friends, my business partners, they get frustrated with me. But it is what it is. I know what it is, and everybody different. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty much how the chosen think. That's pretty much how the chosen move. Because I just hear myself and hear my guy Dallas when I, hear you speak, because we've been called crazy and weirdos and all type of stuff, man. We wanted to lock into what we love and what we know is true. Because you're just supposed to follow a structure. You're just supposed to go with the simulation. But when you put the game on arcade and you play it your way, it's always a problem. Always, he went ghost on me. He went, come on, where he at? It's like people need to find themselves, man. I just really want to, like we say, we giving your cheers, bro. I just really want to appreciate you, bro, for really like putting the shadow work in, bro, and doing it. You're a legend. I feel like you're one of the most underrated persons, because you can, like you say, what was the name you said? You can do a lot of things.
Polymath, right?
Polymath.
The most underrated polymath in Virginia history. That's just me, because it's something that I've sat and watched from booking studio sessions at Radio Ready, being able to get in there, or just sometimes just sitting there with my brother Plana or with M-Rep and, stuff like that. So it's like, man, I've learned a lot and I soaked up so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to steal the information, because everything that I learned I'm displaying it right now. Like, you're the reason, like I said, why I said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to try to, because I love R&B. My teammates used to joke me before the game.
Come on, man.
My team used to joke me before the game because I'm listening to Jagged Edge Hard album.
Heartbreak 2. Come on, man.
I'm listening to Chris Brown First Deluxe album. I'm listening to some stuff that Flame and them done stole from the studio, some exclusive J Braye, like stuff like that. That's what made me who I was, but not for real. So it's like, that stuff inspired me, bro. And I'm just, grateful for guys like you. And I just want to thank you, bro, and that you didn't stop. You didn't stop. Even when you took a hiatus, that was you still going, because you still had to get through.
Yeah. I had some living to do, and learning, and like I knew what my responsibility was, and I knew that I had to be in a space to accept that responsibility. Because it's like, once I commit, I know once the switch is back on, there's no stopping, because I figured it out. Team is built. It's looking good. Let's get it.
So how involved is like family, families? Like, I know, like my mom, she woke me up this morning. Well, I was looking at the Hallmark movies, and I seen your interview came across my screen. I said, let me go and see what you're talking about. And you know what I mean? So I wanted to ask you that, like, how important is family? Are they involved with the music? Do they know when daddy's dropping? Do they know, you know what I'm saying? Do they kind of like know what you do, or is it like separated?
Yeah, I don't think that they understand, because I'm just their pops.
Right.
Like, my son came here with me once. Excuse me. And like, he's been out with me a few times because he's 21 now.
Okay.
And it's in the city. So every time I go out, I see somebody else I know. And so he's understanding it's a pattern. Like, so the third time he asked me, like, is it always like this for you?
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Your pops that
guys,
nigga.
man.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I'm one of them. So do you tell him that?
Nah. I don't think I could explain it. I think I would have to show it to him. And he'll see it. I got a whole, my story is written out.
It's oh man, it's
a nice one too.
It's a Harry Potter book. You know how thick them joints is.
Yeah, because you got to think, like, I was young. I was young with a business, very young. I had a scholarship to Norfolk State. I should have stayed there, because then I could have learned admin.
Why you leave?
Because I wanted to start another business. Probably was my anxiety and ADHD. I was just ready to jump
just
into
ready
it.
To go into some,
yeah, man. So I got into the studio. I started making beats, started growing.
So what was your scholarship for?
Entrepreneurial studies.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, hit him with the. So you an entrepreneur, right? So you ended up being an entrepreneur.
Shout out. Hold it, press. Shout out to Victoria Monet. because she put
Victoria
the
Monet.
green and gold colors in a video, low key.
Yeah,
Come
turned
on
them
now,
up. Turn me up.
I seen it,
Okay.
I seen it, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
The
Real
love, the
rap.
genuine love, man. That's what it's about.
That's for real, yo. I appreciate her for a lot because she kind of just shook some things up. I
What's her
started
name
getting
is again?
emails.
What's her name is again?
Victoria Monet.
Yeah. And so I paused because I like Janelle Monáe as well too. Her music is cool.
Right. She has some hits.
You met her?
No, I have not.
Okay,
No.
you will.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, man. So
Number
yeah,
one
but we were
question.
going
Look,
somewhere.
I was going somewhere. Remember back in the days, I'm on Twitter, I'm doing this, that, and the third. I see you retweet LeBron James. Retweeted. I mean, let me know if I'm tripping or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
LeBron James retweeted your project.
So I don't think it was a LeBron James official account though. Yeah.
It had the
Probably
blue.
a burner
It
jump.
had the blue check.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been though.
Was
It
the blue
had-
check
bro,
there or
listen to
not?
me, bro. This I'm trying to tell you. I do hyperactive research, my nigga.
Okay.
And if it was the LeBron fan page, I
Well,
would say,
listen,
bro,
shout out to LeBron.
man, it was the LeBron
He the
James
GOAT,
page.
man.
It had the
Yeah,
blue
I love
check.
LeBron. Listen, my son wore LeBron James shoes probably for his whole middle school time.
See, I'm trying to tell you how don't nothing happen for coincidence, man. The energy was there. He retweeted your music. I seen it.
That's what's up.
I seen it with my eyes, with these two eyes right here.
Yeah.
Can you talk about? I know you said you done business with Sony. How did that come about?
So Charlie Boy, he had started picking up steam with the song, like maybe about a year before, because I did look at the records in the order. They had downloaded some beats off my website. I had this website back in the day, and they downloaded the beats, and they made this song to it. And I guess the DJs, it was growing some steam, and so Sony, Battery, Jive, that combo did a single deal with him.
Okay.
And so they was like, hey, you got to get a producer declaration. You know, you got to lock in with the producer. And so that's how that went.
What's a producer declaration?
Listen, my lawyer is schooling me to so many things that I'm just, but essentially it's just getting permission to put the record out.
Okay, but
By the producer.
But you know one thing that I always loved about you, Jay, is that you always honest. Like if you don't know something, you'll refer like you just said, like you just did. You always been there where you'll refer to the person that can give you the information, and then you'll refer back to what you know about it. And I respect that, bro, because you ain't just gonna sell a nigga a wolf ticket.
Yeah, no, I can't, yeah, I ain't gonna act like
Yeah,
no.
I respect that.
Because I mean, at this point, my peers, are in the industry. You know, I'm in the industry. So if I don't know something, I can find it out. And I was telling my man Q, shout out to my man Coach Q. I was talking to him today, and we were talking about the difference between articulating the vision of the music and then articulating the vision of the music across time through a rollout. Yeah. And so, yeah, we just talked about collabing on blueprints, and so.
I would expound on that, but I know you a scientist, so you whipping that up. But I heard you say mention Keno name a few times. What's y'all relationship?
Shout out to Keno, that's my brother.
Yeah,
man.
Keno Beats, man. My guy, he was just through here the other night, man. He
surprised me, man. I was so happy. Yes, sir.
You say he surprised you?
Yeah, I didn't know he was coming. Yeah, and he just popped up. I was like, I recognize that voice.
Right.
Yeah,
So what's y'all relationship?
So, all right, so I had the website, and at that time, this was when mixtapes was all over the place, right?
Right.
So I was trying to have my beat CDs in the mixtape stores, and so they had the booth in the mall, and so I was like, all right, well, I could probably sell some beats there, right? So I would go there looking to get with the owner, and Keno would just be like, "Oh, you got beats? I got beats too." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Hey, man."
Producers are
all that.
competitive.
Yeah,
Nah,
facts.
yeah.
So fast forward, I respected that though, because he had beats though, and he had the motion at the mall. So he came to my studio, and at that time I had other rooms, and so I just thought like, you know what, I like his energy. I got this other room. Talked to him about it. you know, do your thing, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. And he all over in Japan and all over else, man.
Yeah, but he did the work, though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying? I
did,
can't
yeah.
take any credit for his success.
I appreciate
You know, it was just, you see the potential in a person, and for me, I just want to help it, you know, help the potential, you know, because for me, the benefit, that's why I called it live in the garden, because what happens is in a garden, you plant the seed. You water it, it grows. And in a garden, sometimes it's weeds, sometimes it's flowers, sometimes you get some fruit out of there. You just never know it's a garden.
Life is like a garden. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what you
it.
gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You on one today, my guy.
So hold on. I heard you talking about you referred to your lawyer a few times, and you talked about the team. So can you give us an idea of what an artist would need as far as a team? I know a lawyer is part of it, right?
Yeah, that's part. So when you are an artist, right, and you want to do it for career, you're running a business, so you have to have business partners, and then you have to have your creative team too, you know, and so yeah, that's how I go.
Okay, so a lawyer, business partners, and a creative team. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, and I can't really say because the list can get long.
Okay.
Because you have on a video set, you might have one person just doing lights, another person just setting the angles, another person just. It's so many jobs, right? But in these movements, when you're doing it independently, you might have to do all those jobs. You know? I came in here with my Insta 360. I was gonna stick it on something and just get it.
I seen it.
Because I didn't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I didn't know we won't get in B-roll. You know what I'm saying? But that's why that's why I hesitated, because I just didn't know how to answer that, because essentially sometimes you got to do it yourself, but you need a cameraman. It would be nice to have a photographer. You need a manager to manage the chaos. Somebody that does not do music, that actually enjoys doing like administrative stuff.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like oil and water for creatives, you know. Like I hate admin, and I realize I hate admin. So I'm like, I would hire out admin all day, like for the rest of my life. I ain't never gotta ever. I'll go in there and we'll figure it out.
So you can do your job.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, I felt like I got to a place, like me and Keno had like a conversation. Because here's the thing. He was always out in the world, but I was in the mud. You know what I'm saying? People like, Jay, why you always in the mud? Da, da, da. I just like discovering new talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how many people came out of Radio Ready, bro,
man.
around the world.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
seriously.
It's a,
you know what I mean?
a list. It's a list. It was,
So my work was different, but it's still a part of the Radio Ready family. You know, even shout out to Biggs. Biggs is a part of the Radio Ready family.
Right.
Biggs is the most successful engineer out of the Radio Ready family.
Bye, that's my
Straight
dog,
up.
and that's my dog. Yeah, and it's funny because I grew up with this guy from the age of 13.
Yeah,
We've done
yeah.
some things together before music, everything.
All of us.
So when you say something like that, because I was like, in my mind, I was like, I want to shout out Biggs. Early, we touched on something, and I was like, you know what? This is J Braye's conversation. This J Braye's interview. So I don't want to bring no names into
since
it.
you said
And it
it.
naturally worked this way into the conversation, which is beautiful to me. And then it's something else that just kind of rung my bell a little bit, was that when I first met you here, you were doing your show, and it's something that kind of like put me on to who you actually were, was the fact that I asked you, I'm like, yeah, hey, let's take my number down. And he's like, he put my number in his phone. He's like, I already got your number, bro. He's like, you must have came to Radio Ready because I got the email subscription. And I'm like, oh, man, this man, he got some things put together. So that was just dope to me, because I'm like, oh, man, he already got my number. He really, really working. Like, you know, so things like that, man, coming from our environment and seeing somebody who is organized. And then you sit here telling me, like, you don't like admin. So it's like, but at the same time, you still have a certain level.
It was organized. I'm a creator.
Right. Okay.
You know, I ain't saying it's organized.
It's-
I mean, yeah, I do have it
figured out,
organized now,
Right.
for sure. But it took time, though. It
Okay.
took time, but everything is a process. Everything is a process, and I appreciate the journey. And I'm still on that journey because my calendar, the backside, I know how I use it. All right, so here's how I do it. Right, I read this book by this guy that does sales, and he was just talking about you break down what you want to do on the calendar, say Monday through Friday. So you tear a sheet off, flip it on the back. Now we write down everything we need to get done. Once we do that, we prioritize. Okay, the top 3 things, bam. When we gonna do that? Flip it on the other side. All right, on Monday, we're gonna do one thing. Tuesday, boom. So now you have like a bit of accountability, but it's not overwhelming because it's just on a sheet of paper. And I put the dollar signs up there because that's how you manifest. You take a goal and you map it out through time. You plan it out, and then you just go step by step. And I'm gonna show the artist how to get this money with the music. But I got to do the legal stuff first because there's insurance that has to be had. There's contracts that have to be done. You know, it's so many things that I do not want to do, even though everybody in the city wants J Braye to do this thing.
Yeah.
It's too much things for one person to do.
Right.
Yeah, so just for to speak on that, too much things for one person to do. I had a question, you know, through all your shadow work, through your spell work. The other day on the other interview, I was explaining how I didn't know how to open up the Bel Air bottle because I've been working all my life, so I never stopped to celebrate nothing. I have fun in doing what I love. So I wanted to ask you, when does J Braye stop to have fun, or when does J Braye stop to celebrate his wins, or you know,
Honestly, I did that my birthday. So November the 9th, my kids came. We had cake and ice cream at the crib. That was cool. Shout out to Jada, Cam, my oldest.
okay,
And then so the next day I was supposed to fly to London, but I was partying at the house, so I missed my flight. But I got a later flight that day. So I was able to sit in my car and listen to the Recording Academy announce the nominees. And I was like, oh, man, that's cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I got to experience that, and then I flew to London. I got with a guy that Keno connected me with, and the experience was amazing. I went there initially because I wanted to see the concert live, but I had already caught her in D.C., so I was like, I'm in London. I'm about to just see what's going on. So I linked with another guy that was like me in London.
okay.
Shout out to Seshi. Shout out
Shout out to Seshi, man.
for sure. He has the platform. That's I Am Mr. Next. If I said that right, I ain't trying to mess it up. But he works with the artists. He started from recording to filming. Long story short, he makes a phone call. He's like, yo, 50 Cent is in town. You want to go, bruv?
Bro,
You want to
I
go,
got-
bro?
you want to go, bro?
So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I ain't really had no intention. So we're in his studio. Like, we're second floor in his film studio. And he like, you want to go? And I'm like, cool. And so, you know, we go there. This dude, he's showing me the London way. We going through the train station, whizzing in and out. It was insane. And you could drink in public. So we meet up with this guy, Donnell Vlog. Shout out to you too. He come through. He's a vlogger. He come through with a Hennessy bottle. He just walking. I'm like, boy, you about to go to jail. Like, I ain't trying to locked up abroad. What?
Not
no
out here.
way. So they tell me that it's legal. I still don't want to drink my little drink.
Yeah, shout out. Look, that's funny because I played overseas for 8 years. I've been to Piccadilly Circus down there in London. I got used to drinking coming from here. I was like, no, fuck it, we live. And so I come back home and all my homies is looking at me how you was like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Wow.
No,
Bro,
no.
that up.
niggas are barbarians.
Right.
So hearing you say that is just dope because you like, nah, I was still
Viking.
like, nah, I ain't, nah.
Yeah.
They got us whipped up over here, whipped into shape over here.
Yeah, no question, though. No question. And that's a form of PTSD, actually. Yeah. That's a form of PTSD. But you like how I did that, bars. I be freestyling, too. But I ain't freestyling
Man,
today.
hit that
'cause I
motherfucker,
don't
hit
feel
that
like-
motherfucker. Oh, she don't want to work.
Uh-oh. buttons.
Come on, what you got for me, cuz? You sound like you got
I
a flow
ain't got
bubbling
no
up.
bars.
But no, so yeah, Jay, who are your inspirations, man? Who was the people
Stevie
you-
Wonder. Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, because I resonated with that as a young kid. Come to find out, I know why. Because I don't really listen to Donny nowadays because it's a certain vibration, you know, and yeah, the music, certain tones and things like that. So, yeah, so I did a deep dive because my pops is into jazz music. So he was a collector of music. I listened, I studied, you know, and I just downloaded so many sounds in my brain. Yeah. Who
I
like-
heard you say that on the record. I heard you say it on the record. Like so many sounds in my head and so many, you know. I was like, I gotta ask them about that. Like, you know, cause that, like, cause you know, you just said you ADHD. My brother is too. I am too. Like I know a lot of my friends. We all got that in common. So I know I got my methods how I control it, but how you control yours?
All right, so honestly, I think exercising is very good. Like exercising is very important because that does change the chemicals. Meditation, I do meditate. I don't meditate as much as I should these days, but I do meditate though. Yeah. Breathing, like there's breathing exercises. You know, just anytime you feel like you're not grounded, just return to your breathing. Feel it going through your nostrils.
Okay.
Feel your feet on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, how they feel in your socks. You know, then you work that energy up. You feel your ankles, your shins. Y'all feeling it in your knees?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a form of meditation right
Most
here.
definitely, bro.
And we all benefiting from this, right?
Most
sure.
definitely,
It's a
for
nice
sure.
little chill vibe.
Yeah.
See, we just meditated.
Yep. Yeah.
I think that's very dope and very important that people
Now, I'm gonna be real with you.
see that.
We don't know what we just done, but that was crazy. I'm talking about like in a good, positive way. Like we just helped so many people, bro. That I'm talking about. You know how many people just took that breath with us?
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. 'Cause I be stressed out sometimes, man, but meditation helps. You know, I don't know why I was designed the way I was designed, you know, but everybody, it takes, you know, it's just everybody's different, you know, and we all deal with I call it the disposition. You know what I'm saying? Like where it come from, that's a deep dive on a whole nother conversation, you know, but yeah, my aunt called it dancing in the rain.
Dancing in the rain. I'm gonna be like Ray J in the One Wish video now.
This is you. No more heart under your shirt though. I'm about to do it. I'm about to take it off now.
Yeah, boy, wow. So,
My bad, bro. But Jay, you've been all over the world, man. All across the globe, man. Can you speak on like how does that influence your music, like, or how does that influence like just how you look at stuff? Because I've noticed that the people who travel the world, they have a broader mind frame or like a more open mind on just in conversation.
Oh yeah, so Atlanta and Miami did it for me. I would suggest anybody that comes from the ghetto, the hood, the trap, whatever you want to call it, go to one of those places and experience black people that look like they getting money and don't want to rob you. Because that's another sign of PTSD that you get in Shock City.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all on edge around here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just is, it's the culture here, you know, because ain't nobody, you know how they playing out here.
Yeah.
Why is that though?
I mean, I can't say why. I can say that since the beginning of time, there's been rival tribes. And I think that's just a human nature.
I would have to say, you know, just being from here, it's not a lot of, like, for example, I went to we attended the hip hop summit in Williamsburg.
Shout out to Samandy. That was a great event.
Right, that was super dope. It was nice to see you there because we had just did a segment of your show, and then you know, just same frequency type of thing. So she talked about there being legislation in Atlanta for like. That's the reason why it is that way. With their art culture, their music culture, there's actually legislation built so that they can eat. And So there's none of that here, right? As of now, I believe that things are coming here, but I think that's a part of it because like I feel like we're just as cultural, just as creative as you would say in Atlanta. We have all the things. We got the beach close by, 20 minutes away if you're from Norfolk, or from the 7-5. We got a lot of things and attributes and amenities, but the fact that there hasn't really been any funding or money behind the arts and the people that look like us, that would contribute to it. Because I know 15 artists right now that can, really make music, but at the same time, I have to force them. I try to force feed them to go to the studio because they rather go rob something or shake something down. And it's like, no, there's a way. We just gotta stay forward, stay on the mission. So I mean, I can speak to that personally because I know artists personally. I can't speak for everybody and why it's that way, but yeah, I mean that's just my take on it. So like whoever the powers that be, they need to come together and understand. Because I know like there's a guy named Rico Love. He just did the soundtrack for Color Purple, and Rico Santana. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Rico.
Shout out to Rico, man. Great producer, great engineer, clean sound. And he talks about that, like, man, I want to get out of here. Sometimes I want to, if I can't find a building, because it's so hard. It's like an artist like that who works with Missy and Legend, he just did like you said, he worked on almost every song on the new Color Purple soundtrack. Yeah. And it's hard for him to get a studio in Norfolk, in Virginia. So, like, when you think about the loopholes we got to jump through, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I know your journey hasn't been.
Yeah, I mean, I say that one thing, shout out to Antonio, Roy, Dariel, and the team that kind of came and taught me so many things in a small period of time once Live in the Garden was at its height. Right? We took it and we attached that to the Scope concert with Method Man. And in that process, we talked about innovative ways that entertainment could actually fuel the economy. But then you have to think about all levels of it, which is the children, the young adults, the older adults, the elderly. And so anytime you're doing a project, it has to meet all of those points. So for me, here's another reason why I changed the look of Live in the Garden at one point, right? Because it just, to me, I felt like, okay, well, everybody wanted it to keep going, but I knew it wasn't working. It wasn't complete. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool, but it wasn't complete. So I wanted to stop it, And yeah, so I don't know. I put the flames on this too. That's how I do.
Just flame it up. Move on.
Flame it up. Yeah, make it hot.
Great song.
But it's just death and rebirth. Everything has cycles.
Right.
And I do appreciate the hero's journey. That's a format that some of our greatest movies follow. And I can relate to periods of my life matching up with certain parts of the movie or movies. And you go through trials, tests, and then you find out who your allies, your enemies are, and then you come back. You come back with what you found, and you share it with your community. And I figured it out, and I'm like, all right, I sent it to my corporate lawyer. And he says, I've never told anybody this, but I told my wife I was going to make $1 million off of something I do this year. And I was like, yeah, well, the number that I saw since like year 2000, I think you could pull it off. Then I sent it to my guy, Q. He looks at it. He's like, yo, this is brilliant. I'm like, oh, all right. So maybe I did figure it out. And so, yeah, I figured it out. And it makes sense so we utilize entertainment and product, merchandise to create passive streams or supplement income, like gig worker. imagine you as an artist, if you knew the steps in 1 year, you can have 300 people that would support you for say $40, you know, throughout the, you know, just doing random things. You're giving them value. 300 people. That's not, we're not talking about becoming, I mean, who's a big artist? J. Cole? We're not talking about becoming J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. Like, no. We're talking about, I call my peoples, they come out, and it's like 100 people in here. And then I did a song with another dude. He had 100 people in here. Yeah, and then we sold merchandise. We had a great time. And we could do that often because it's right up the block. You know what I'm saying? And so that just, so I had to get with legal, because when you think about things like this, well, and one thing the music taught me is that when you have a great idea in the E-Myth book too, you can franchise that idea. You can license it. You can loan it to others. And so for me, it took me so long because I literally talked to almost everyone that was impactful to assist me to getting to where I was and being the J Braye that the community knows, right? And I said, all right, well, I need to create a system that will provide passive and active stock to the people that I feel like deserve it, you know? And then I built a professional team that's gonna facilitate it. And it just makes sense.
And I'm gonna segue into something. You did that, right?
Yeah.
No AI.
So no, I use AI a lot, and I'm gonna tell you how I use AI. I will dictate an idea, right, and I'll tell it. Now I'm doing the work, notes, and I'm putting it in there, and I say, hey, format this as an email, format this as a business plan, format this as whatever, and yeah, I use it to my benefit.
Yeah, so that was my next question. I was going to ask you, how important is AI in you in your organization, like far as organizing your stuff? I know a few people who use it. I'm not going to say I'm against it, but I'll say I'm just big on doing it yourself.
I think the key was what he said that stuck out to me was he dictates the idea first. So he has a full because some people will rely on
just
it.
use AI. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I know there's some
you
people
can't
that
just
use AI
be lazy.
for everything.
You still have to do the
text
work.
messages. They be in the group chat using AI, and yeah, it's just that when you're using it like that, I don't. So that's why I knew you was going to articulate it differently. As far as you saying you're using it for your benefit, already having a format. But me, I like coming up with the format. I feel like I'm better than AI. That's just me.
Yeah, I got
This
you.
is my personal preference on it.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about media itself. You know, you have different languages and formats depending on what media you sending it. So the way you talk in a text message might not be the way that you talk on an email.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
Just understanding the difference. Shit get real, man. J Braye in the building.
Oh man,
Giving the game.
I always gotta be honest, man. You got me, Jay.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I get it, though, because it's like, yo, AI is cheating, especially, like, not cheating as far as, like, I'm talking about the music part. Like, they got AI writing songs.
Right.
They got AI sounding like people.
Right.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I just feel like, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like if you tampering with it at all, you a part of that.
No.
That's
Because
just how I
AI, you
feel,
got to
man.
embrace it. We're already here.
Yeah, you gotta embrace it.
Yeah, no question. No
It's
question.
here.
Because now it's the thing that if everyone in the world has access to it, how you gonna use it? How am I gonna use it? How are you gonna use it? It's the playing field is level. Still you gotta work with it. It's just a tool.
No, I'm fucking with you, man.
Yeah,
I was like this when Instagram first hit, when first Facebook, Twitter. I was a little against it the first month, and after that I got with the program. But I'm just like kind of really joking for real. I just never used it before. Let's just say, you know, people just talk shit about stuff that they don't know how to use.
True,
You know what I'm saying?
true. I feel that.
You know, big facts. So, but no, I'll have to try it out.
True. Yeah, I can show you.
Yeah.
I know some cool things, man. Like visually, like messing with the sound too. and then just like the general assist aspect of it. That's the part that I haven't entered yet, but I do want to enter that, like an AI assistant.
This guy. Shout out Christian Love Child, man. Just walk through the
Shout out
camera.
to Christian
Yeah,
Love.
Yeah,
Child.
you
Hey,
know what I'm saying? He done gave everybody the spiel on how they can't walk through the camera, and then he just walk. Don't follow his footsteps.
I mean, it's
You know
all
what I'm
right.
saying?
You
It's
gotta
all
move
good.
around.
It's
It's
all
all
good.
right.
It's-
Yeah.
we had to shout him out anyway,
Yeah,
but
we just had to
yeah.
shout him out anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christian.
Yeah,
man.
that was just
Yeah.
all. That was just the universe letting
that's
us
how
know
we.
to
That's
shout
how
him
we talk. That's how we talk our shit.
out.
You know what I'm
was deep,
saying?
we was deep in conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But do you agree that conversation rule the nation, Jay? Cause you want to know how I hate this.
Does conversation rule the nation?
Yeah, man.
That's a good question, bro.
Are we talking about marketing?
No, I'm talking about and just okay, so let me give you some context. Like as far as communication, like how you communicating the information of the music business, how you communicating, you know, how you the stuff, the information that you don't know. Like how important is the conversation of like, you know what I'm saying, or do you do it, or is it like you got somebody that they got to talk to, or you know what I'm saying?
No. What you ask? Like, what are you? I'm saying, what are you asking?
Like far as conversation ruling the nation, because I feel like from a conversation you can make $1 million just off a conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like for me, there's a certain part of sharing that I won't do because ideas are intellectual properties, you know, and yeah, like you can give a person the sauce, you know. And the thing about it is this world is not a fair world that we live in. And so people can just take from you and not compensate you properly, you know? So.
Okay.
So that's why you went straight to marketing, right?
Right, so that's what it's about. He said because people might not compensate you properly, because I was just thinking about it wasn't sold to me, right? Any knowledge or information that I have. And then plus anything that I whipped up in my kitchen, like I promise you, this is how I feel. Anything that I whipped up in my kitchen, I can give you the recipe book to what I whipped up in my kitchen. And you might get more money off of it or whatever because I like that point, but I feel like it ain't gonna taste like how mine tastes.
Facts.
It ain't gonna look like how mine's gonna look. You can't execute my plan or my recipes or my recipe book like I do it. So I feel like, but I am stingy with far as my ideas, but the information and knowledge that the universe came here to give, I give that freely.
True. I feel that. And I agree. Yeah.
What I'm taking from your answer is that, like, because you went straight to marketing, so it's kind of like what you said. You can't make $1 million off conversation, because if I'm consistently marketing something to someone, and it's a good product, then we can talk ourselves into $1 million. But then I also understand where he's coming from, because I've been taken from in a certain sense, and it's like when you sit back and look at it, you like, you want to fuck somebody up. When you sit back and you let something slip in front of somebody, and then you go back and you see them take the idea and run with it and not give you any credit at all. But I mean, that's why I'm very choosy about who I, have these conversations with. Because if I can't have that conversation with you, if I drop something on you or J Braye and y'all go take it and run with it, and I say, hey, didn't we talk about that? And if you can't get me straight, if you don't think about getting me straight after I brought it to you, you might have thought it was your idea.
Here's the thing. All right, so here's what happens with me, right? A thought leader. People will come to me to give me their thoughts, right? So that if, like, I don't tell people what my next moves are, because these are my business decisions and this is my intellectual property, right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that I won't say those things, right? A person may be giving me a suggestion thinking that they're giving me my next great move. When I close my eyes and dream that dream, I'm the only one to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see it. Like, and that's why I say, like, I know what parts to be loud about, and then the other parts to just be hush about, Like, yeah.
Did that come with time, or did that come with, Like, did you always have that?
It came with time, and it came with a suspicion, you know, because like me, I've always shown love to everybody. It's just in my nature. And like people will come to me and get help and, you know, ask me questions. But then the questions started to feel like, well, why is this person asking me this? And then this person over here asking me this. And then I tell this person something crazy, and then this person says it. And I'm like, oh, these people know each other. They working, you know, and it's like everybody, I'm a sit and duck because I'm just in there in that one room, but everybody else is clicked up and doing whatever they're doing, conspiring against me, you know? And so that's why I just started capping. Like, all right,
The plight of a big man.
yeah, just, I mean, because I ain't got nothing but love and protection. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I got. You know, and I mean, for real, even my marketing, because that's what I call it, my marketing was still for the greater good, you know, to actually position people in a place that now we can make it make sense. And like I reached out to the people at Military Circle Mall. My system could have had them all flourishing. My system could have the mall flourishing.
Right.
This is for sure. I know that for a fact. And I could say that because my work is done. I saw it from A to Z. And I've already emailed it out to my legal team. So we're talking about $1 million. Yeah, we can have $1 billion conversation. We could license the shit out of this and have $1 trillion conversation. Seriously. Like,
Yeah, because at one point in time, the currency that you held was the knowledge that you kept. So just picture how much conversation had to be held. Like, that was money. Because it won't no gold, it won't no paper dollar. It was just, you know, at one point in time before all that, it was the information and knowledge that you held up here was your currency. So, you know, that is still true in this time. Just like if the first person could fly, heal itself, the people here can do it. You just got to do more to tap into it. You know, that shadow working, spell working, meditation and things of that nature that you need to tap into yoga, you know, lifting your own body weight and things of that nature. We can go all day, but yeah, man, it's a major part of everything, man. And we keep on mentioning it, but it's just really a major part of like being at one, being all one. That's why I broke it down in the audio book that I'm working on is, you know, for me, I break the word down and you add an L to it. When you're alone, you're all one. I mean, you're all one with everything that's around you. So that's why when you go back around people in the social environment, you're able to, you know, peep out and be an empath and know how to block this energy because people are energy leechers. There's people out here that's energy leechers, energy seekers, and energy takers, all a different thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's very, very, you know, I like that you say you protect your intellectual property. So, you know, all conversations don't rule a nation because, you know, some people are, because like I said, but we're all being used in some way, shape, or form. But when it comes abuse, the usage become abuse, like that's when, you know what I'm saying, we're all being utilized. I won't say used, but we're all being utilized in some way, shape, or form, did I say.
okay. Care to elaborate?
I mean, he hit it on the head, like you said. Like I'm glad that you touched on the fact that you had to go through it in order to realize what was going on. Because that's something I went through personally too, and it's like at some point you just gotta go legal, talk to your lawyer, to see how we can capitalize off of this, how we can make sure it makes sense for me, because I'm putting out all this energy, and then you get exhausted. That's why I said the plight of a big man, because I personally believe that God gives, like you said, that light, right? So just mathematically, that light might hit me or you first before it hit the next man that got his 5'10". So, and if you just going around just giving that out willy-nilly, you playing yourself, you know what I'm saying? And you playing with God because you're not, you know, providing the word in the way that he wants you to, you know what I'm saying, and spreading it. So I can agree with.
Yeah. So Jay, how important is where you from and when you create your music? Do you take that with you?
I mean, I'm from a place, but at the end of the day, my music that I create is from like just experience. You know what I mean? Like just if I feel a way, then I write about it, or if I can imagine it, I write about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I listen to the records, you sound different on each record. It's like when I used to listen to Prince. You couldn't tell who Prince was when he get on the song.
Well, I mean, it's so I'm a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and that's the issue with me in relationships too. Because if I'm in a relationship and I write a song, the female that I'm in a relationship with is gonna instantly think that I'm writing that song about them.
Ooh, talk about it, because we done been in some sticky situations, man.
Have you never been inspired by a movie?
Yeah,
100%.
And wanted to just say, oh, okay, well, that's another remix. It's like, okay, I saw this movie and now I wanna write a song about something like that. You know, and it happens like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that make it easier. You know what I'm saying? So for any artist, I feel like it make it easier when you kind of go personal, and find a personal situation to share.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's just we transferring emotions, I guess, right? You know, just we feeling something and we're figuring out, well, what does that sound like? What does it look like? You know, and that's it.
Pretty deep, man. We got J Braye in here today, man.
Yeah.
Legend, man.
Legend.
The underrated polymath.
One of the hottest records in the world right now, out that he, you know,
sampled it.
wrote. They sampled it. They took your intellectual property, but they did it right. Shout out to Victoria McMonet.
Shout out to her for sure.
For doing it the right way. And like you said, what I liked about her was that I heard the song. I love a good rollout. So I heard the song a couple times. I'm like, damn, they remixed that joint. That was my joint. I was rocking in the club with that. Then I saw her had her mom backstage.
Yeah, that part was dope.
That was like
cute,
that.
man.
So that hit me right here. Like, okay.
She had the fam.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on my
I rock
mama,
with her.
on my hood. Like that's yeah.
On
I got,
my
come
mama.
on, I have my
Yo,
mama out here.
Smoke is my favorite song by her. One of them. I mean, but you know, I have been listening to her music since like when she dropped in 2016. I want to say,
so you was
because I
early to the
love
game.
R&B. Yeah, I've been on her music, like. And like, so for her to sample it, I was a fan of her music off in the beginning. So it was cool, man. Shoot.
So
Shout out to her.
Is it any artist right now that you want to work with?
My playlist kind of crazy right now. Yeah, my playlist kind of crazy right now of people that I'm listening to. I can say that a genre that might be unexpected for me would be alternative, because it's like R&B, but it's not. Yeah, I like it. Alternative music. It's a few artists like Sir Was. Sir Was is a good one. Let's see who else we got out there. This other dude made an album called Music for Squares with clarinets.
The clarinet.
Fire. I play the clarinet. Yeah.
What other instruments you play, man? That's why we on the topic.
So the air trumpet.
Honestly, a
Clarinet.
little bit of piano. Like I've always said that I wanted to dedicate like my 40s, because I'm 41, you know, dedicate my 40s to learning piano, so when I'm 50, I can just be nice with it. But I got to get started. But I just been working too much. That's all.
So how do you you know what I'm saying? You working too much. You know what I'm saying? How do you? So you like? Cause you say I'm gonna get at it. I'm gonna get to it.
You a musician, so is that working? Would you consider that working?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a creative, so I have several projects that I'm a part of at any given time. You know, like I have artists that come to me for advice. I'm engineering some, others I'm helping with their rollout. You know, and it's just like for me, like my Instagram is my page. I be trolling. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what a rollout is. I know what a marketing agency is too, and I know how much they cost. You know, and so if I wanted to do that, I could take that route. You know, but my music rolls out to millions. The music that I produce, you know, like that I'm a part of. So there's that part. And yeah, like I don't know, we just all over the place, but yeah, like I don't know. I got a lot of projects. Like I got abstract art. I have books and books of abstract art that I want to animate and turn into pieces, NFTs, T-shirts, canvases, etc. I have stacks of books. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that artist said my joints was fire. He said, "You got a hand." He said, "Everybody got a hand." I said, "Well, all right, that's what's up." He liked my joint, so I feel like that was yeah, it's all right. So I got that. You know, through my separation, I wrote this book called Conversational Peace. It's not a book. I am gonna make it into a book when my son graduates as a gift for him for passive income. Right now, it's a booklet, and it talks about dirty fighting techniques and things of that nature. And it's a worksheet, and it's a practical idea how couples can communicate healthy as opposed to fighting. You know, because I lived it. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't want to ever go back to that, like as far as just that type of interaction. So, you know, me pain into purpose. So I take these experiences that I went through and I say, all right, well, how can I turn this into something? How can I remix it into something that will benefit me?
And you being because I was just going back to mention, you said, you being a polymath, it's very important that we don't set you inside of a box and be all over the place, because you're literally and realistically all over the place as far as doing stuff here and there, and you know what I'm saying. So not to put you in a box, but and also to let you because like I said, this show at Home Court Advantage was basically speaking on people who are like, we feel that are like underrated, being skipped over, and you know, it's kind of basically your job to tell us your story. Tell us how you gain a home court advantage in your life. So
it gives us insight hearing you say, I had to go legal because I got intellectual property, because when we came up, we played high school basketball together. Our generation now, you know, they got the NIL deals. They're paying these guys. Right. They put me in a video game.
That's another thing too. Like these artists, like we were doing it so wrong as kids that just wanted to make music.
Right.
You know, now we've been through this and it's okay because it's still your song library. So with it cleaned up and it glossed up the right way, there is a lot of value in that. And I mean, my lawyer is working hard right now. My entertainment, I have two lawyers. I have a corporate attorney and I have a music, an entertainment attorney. And right now he's dealing with the licenses, so I can't really bombard him. But little does he know my business plan that everybody's saying is brilliant. He's gonna need a staff. I figured it out for him already though, because we're gonna work with the colleges. And so that's where you get the interns at. And then that's just, you give that energy to them, and then they already want to do it. That's how you define who, you know. So yeah, that's it. Now I'm giving away jewels. Okay. But no, I have to facilitate it, you know. And so yeah, I can't really I don't worry about that. But I am kind of private though, because I did go through that period in Shark City that everybody wanted to know my next move. You know, and then I would share things, and then they would end up across the street somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Doing what you, That's and do you think that's something that, because coming back home, that's something that it ate at me for a while. It's still something that I'm dealing with, because I was able to go overseas, set up a structure where I could do shows easy, and work with artists, and it was never. It might have been the language barrier. It could have been a array of different things, but when I came back home, that's when I realized that people were stealing flat outright stealing.
Everybody doesn't have original thought. That's what I like to call it, like original thought. Like everybody don't have that, and so you know, there's writings about polymaths. You got to be guarded because you like people like me, like I'm smart. You know, like you could tell me something, and if I'm paying attention, I could visualize it and probably give you some feedback that will help you based on my life experiences. And so, yeah, so if I was to do something and do my own thing, like once a person realizes that I could help them, then it becomes an our thing. And that's just, I mean, and so what I realized, that's actually a good thing. Like people are competitive for sure. But yep.
Me and my brother got something called the crumb method, where it's like, I don't need to take your whole loaf. I could possibly use a nugget from here, crumb from here, crumb from here, crumb from here. I can build my own damn loaf. But there's people who want to just take the whole loaf. And that was like, that's what I was talking about. And that, like you said, no such thing as, that shit drove me crazy.
Yeah, but see, I'm gonna tell you, like, how I made peace with it all is coming from the streets, right? You think when somebody steals something from them, you want to react a certain type of way.
Right.
But in the corporate world, it's sport, and we're all teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, we play for different teams. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't play fair. This is the music industry, and it ain't fair. It ain't safe. You know what I'm saying? And so with those things being said, it is important to have proper protection and things like that.
Very important to have the proper protection, man. The proper team, the proper meditation, the proper spiritual guides, man. I can't speak on that enough. Meditation connects you to those things. And I ain't trying to just go all deep into it, but yeah, man. You really, this was for you, but you helped me out a lot, man. I didn't know what a polymath was. Now I can identify what I am.
That's all I was gonna say. Welcome.
Yeah, I can identify what I am, and I promise you,
likewise, yeah.
I do that all the time, and I always used to think it was wrong, but now when I see like the fruits of my labors, like being, you know what I'm saying, the work that this time, energy, and sweat equity that I put in, when I see that stuff is, you know what I mean, being benefited, it's like I did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll just go ghost. I'll go ghost and only communicate with the people who, like, literally on the same, you know, frequency that I'm on. And ever since I've been doing that, it's just, I've been going here.
Right. And I had to understand the difference. It's not like you learn those things. You know what I mean? And I kind of I'm from, like, we grew up, me and my brother, we learned to share. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's the cultural thing, you know? So you want to share. But then over time, I realized, well, dang, okay, this is what's happening. Like, people taking these ideas and going off, and then it's just causing like
just how you pay
that
your
ain't
bills.
even it.
Right.
Yeah, like that's a part of it, but that's not even it. Like, you tried to do it, and that ain't even it.
Oh man.
But I mean, not throwing shade for real, because I can applaud them attempting, you know, and it's fine.
Because they recognize the greatness.
Yeah, but honestly, the idea is going to take me some time. It's going to take me some time, but I will share that what I do want to do is I want to spend a lot of time connecting with the colleges, because that's the staff in any area. You know what I mean? Like, if you can cultivate like some interns that really care about what they want to create, you know, then every season, you know, you literally could have help. You know, so that's what I personally will be taking my credentials and doing, saying, hey, I wanna sow my seeds here with the colleges. Yeah.
So you say, you know, I always known you to be like a computer guy, and you was just talking about art. So how involved are you, like, in the, like, your the artwork, as far as your, like, the covers, and, you know, do you do that yourself, or do you have a team?
Yeah, I do have a team. So, but I do design myself as well. Like, I know the Adobe suite.
Okay.
From cartoon animation, graphic design, editing, keyframing, all of that stuff. But my cousin, Abidayu, merger the Maximus, ad agency. So he coined the phrase in the culture, DMV. He created this platform called DMV Jams, and he was working with all the artists. And I was like, cuz, that's a great idea. I want to pull that off, right? So 2016, I got a microphone. Then I tried to do this thing called Freestyle Friday. You know, Marv P is all in the video. You remember that?
I remember that.
Try to get it going, and it ain't even work.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? So
Why didn't it work?
Well, I don't know why it didn't work at that time, but it more so probably just, I would say, if I could look back, probably planning and just, it's hard. You can't sell an idea what people need is they need to see it. So like, yeah, people need to see it first. So you got to produce it first. And so you literally got to pull teeth to get people to participate in your dream, in your idea, unless you hire them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's another thing too. That and that's the part that I realized too. Just reflecting back on it all. And shout out to Antonio, the city of Norfolk, for this too. Like they really educated me on different programs that was available for entrepreneurs that, yeah, I knew was out there, but I was such in a place that I was so committed to what I was doing. I didn't have free time for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just in the middle holding I'm holding it all up, you know? And so like, yeah. So now it's just, I'm not in a rush to start anything because when I do, I'm looking to hire. You know, and I want to, like, once it's built, I want to sit back and I want to watch it play out.
Interesting.
Because we feel like the music industry is coming to Virginia. That's just personal opinion of me and my brother because
It's
like
a fact.
okay, there we go. We heard it from the legend right here. So we right on track. Yeah, because that's something that, like, we came home, we had a conversation, and what year was this? Probably 2019.
Yeah, 2019, right before the pandemic.
Yeah, I was still playing overseas.
I was in California.
And I was doing shows over there, and something felt like it was missing. I was doing shows. I had a couple of Russian homies. I had some Israeli homies. We was doing shows. We did probably 50 shows in the summer. It was great, but I wasn't able to have these conversations, and that was hurting me. I got brothers at home that's going through the struggle, survivor's remorse. I listened to the Kendrick album, To Pimp a Butterfly, and that really inspired me because he talked about bringing the information back home, and you kind of touched on that, bringing the knowledge back home. So would you have any advice as far as, because my first thing to do was to come home and give the information out, right? And that's why I said some things was, you know, I was like, it was eating me because I was giving information out. People would take it and just run with it. And I wasn't used to that because that's not how it was over there. It was like, all right, this is.
Right. And I don't know what it is about Virginia because, like, you know, you got other areas that can assemble, you know, and build these units for one vision. But for here, it's so difficult, you know, for people to come together. Like, I've experienced it so many times, you know, just with various projects that, yeah, it's hard because, all right, think about it. Like sometimes in a rapper's mind, if you rap too, if I help you and you make it before me, I got to sit there and watch you make it before me. I can't live with that. That's what I think I could speak for a rapper. I think that's how they think. I could be wrong. And that's why they probably don't help. But the key is collaboration because it's bubble meets bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Sound man. Yeah.
It is popping. Collaboration. But that's why you have somebody like me, somebody to sit back and I'm listening to everyone's concerns, right? I'm listening to the problems. Then I'm hearing the issues and the concerns on a higher level as far as the city goes. And I'm saying, oh, okay. It took some time because I learned some things that I was unaware of, right? And so I built a system, I built a blueprint, and I know it's gonna work because, you know, entertainment drives tax dollars.
100%.
Parking, you know, just making an area popular is gonna drive sales for all the whole economy. It's an economy. That's why I can really sit here and confidently say, like, $1 million conversation. Nah, probably billion. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Shout out to Afrotech. We ain't done no business yet, but I feel like it's coming. Because what I got, I think that they will be able to help. Yeah. Shout out to them.
Afrotech. Yeah, go ahead and manifest that and throw that in the ethos.
For sure. You already know.
Go ahead and throw that in the ethos, man. So I was just thinking, right? Past, present, future. We touched on the past, a little bit of the present. What's in the future for Jay?
Honestly, development on a different level for me. I'm always looking to improve and be the best version of myself. So that partnership with professionals. So I'm gonna have to be very, very moldable because I want to grow, you know. And if I'm working with other intelligent individuals, they're gonna tell me intelligent things that I didn't consider. So if you correct a fool, they might hate you, but you correct a wise man, they're gonna thank you. Christian had already dropped gems since I've been in his presence. And so as a result of that, it's just like it's another level of comfort. Like, okay. I mean, I already know Christian been the GOAT since the beginning.
Yeah,
me and Christian
man.
go way back. Christian
Way
came to my
back.
mama and daddy house. So now he talking about 5 minutes. So he want me to. So Christian, he shows his butt on my set. Then 2, he wants, because I'm talking about his story, he want me to give 5 minutes. So I'm gonna give shout out to the CFO of my company, Eru Ma'at. Shout out to him. It's because Eru, I met Christian. Eru has a financial firm. He sells insurance products. He's a genius. He's also councilman of the city of Hampton.
So before you finish, though, I wanted to know: did you hear me? I know that happened, but did you hear me?
What's that?
I'm not trying to be funny, but
We can bring it back. Bring it back in.
No, in my head, I asked you, like I literally asked you the question, like, how did you meet Love Child, Christian Love Child? Did you hear that?
Oh yeah, I was going there. So Eru Ma'at, my CFO, currently, he started a record label, and Christian and his brothers was rapping at the time.
Okay.
And so that's how I met Christian. This was before a lot of things. This was when I was on Princess Anne Road, right across the street from Roberts Park. You remember that studio?
I remember that studio, bro.
That's how far me and Christian go way back.
That's when Killer D was a part of the Fifth Elements
Shout
and all
out to
that.
Killer D,
yeah, man, my
miss him.
cuz, man, I miss him so much, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that PN Road, man. That joint was decked out, man. I remember that. Yeah, that was the times, man.
Yeah.
So that's how you met with Love. That's how you met with Love Child, man. Hey, man, we could talk for hours, bro. We literally can.
That's because I have so many intimate experiences with so many people. Like, all right, I could have went and chased fame when I had that first hit record, right? But I feel like what I got, depression. Long story short, depression for sure, and just an unstable environment. But
you weren't protected.
Yeah, nah. Too many people wanted stuff from me. I was think about it, like I can do something for you. So it's like I have to be so guarded because I can help, and so I don't know what's genuine. So I had to learn it actually, you know. So I feel like I'm pretty good with that, and yeah. So
how'd you go about getting to that, figuring out what was genuine and stuff like that?
Watching actions over words. Because words are just words, but actions will show like, all right, well, this is what's really taking place, you know? And it's like if a person says, hey, bro, I love you, or, oh, I love you, boo, whatever, then let me see the actions reflect that, you know? And so I had enough time for everyone's actions to kind of roll out, you know what I'm saying? And now, you know, like I know who my brothers are, and brothers fight. Right, brothers fight. Like me and my blood brother, me and Blake, we close as ever. Shout out to Dope, Italian Ice. We licensing that to investors because we know that we're gonna be all over the place, tapping in with sports and marketing, so they can put the trailers in these different places and we can make money together. So that's what we doing with that. So that's one thing. And my other brothers, we fight all the time. Like, and I realize it's me. Over this year of me building my infrastructure, like the people that has said, Jay, I will support you, my executive friends, right? And I'm building with these guys, and some guys just can't even stand me because the way I think I be all over the place. But, you know, like, I know what I'm talking about because it might be like 7 different departments. I might talk about 1, 2, and 3. Then I jump to 4. But then you only hearing one conversation. So it's just like, you know, people could get lost in that thing, in that free flowing speech.
Right. So to wrap it up, tell them out there, just one little thing, how they can gain the home court advantage in whatever they doing.
All right. So the way that you gain the home court advantage in what you're doing, what I would suggest to anyone, we're going to say a brand, because now you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be just, if you got content, you make yourself a brand. Okay. So if you're doing these things, then just like take the time to define your purpose. Like what ignites your fire and makes you motivated. For me, I said that I will do the things that I need to do in order to do what lights my fire, which is talk about mental health awareness. You know, and because I realize like how it has impacted my life, you know, and I see that you can overcome that.
That's what your show is about?
Well, no, my show is just entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just talking to my friends.
Okay.
Yeah, just artists.
Gotcha.
Shout out to Marv P, Rob J, Big
You got a name of it?
The MF and J Braye Show.
Okay, the MF and J Braye Show.
Yeah.
I like that, man. We appreciate you, man. So glad to have you on, man.
Ton of jewels.
Thanks for having me.
I'll have to say, I'm going to say that this is part 1 because we got to bring you back on because there's some stuff I still got to ask you.
On my mama. On my hood. Come on, man.
Shout out to Charlie Boy, too.
Yeah,
Shout out
come
to
on.
Charlie
Yeah, we
Boy,
got to
man.
shout him
Yeah.
out because he
Shout out to Charlie
did
Boy.
that.
Victoria
Yeah, for sure.
Monet.
He did his thing. Yeah, he did his thing.
J
I rock
Braye,
with
man.
Charlie Boy.
Yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you, and we'll appear on your show, hopefully.
No
In fact,
question. No
throw that out in the
question.
ethos, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we really do appreciate you, man. Cheers to you. Thank you, man, and keep pushing, man. And we really do thank you, man, for coming out for us because we know you're a hard guy to get in contact with.
Hey, listen, no problem. No problem. And we here and we're going to get it done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's Home Court Advantage, man. This your boy, Jesse Appleseed.
This your boy Dallas Copperfield, and we here with J Braye, the legend.
The legend.
Peace.
Polymath legend, man.
Still got work to do, so let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it.
And we out, man.